Hiya. Hi. Hi. So today I'm going to be talking about why I love chick flicks. Now, first of all, I wanted to define just what I think a chick flick is, because I think there's kind of a grey area between it. Now, this might not be the definition that most people use, but the definition I'm going to use for this video is films that are about teens. Because I was looking back and thinking about all the chick flick films that I watched when I was younger, and it's, how do you say, is Bridget Jones a chick flick or is it a rom-com? Is Mean Girls a chick flick or is it a rom-com? Like, it's those two different types of films. So I think for me, a chick flick is about teens and a rom-com is about adults. I think that's how I'm gonna differentiate. So chick flicks are films about teens, made for teens, about teens, but can be consumed by anyone. So let's get right into it of why I love chick flicks. So I was born in the year 2000, which is arguably one of the best decades for chick flicks. So many came out. I mean, you have your Mean Girls, you have your Angus Bong's Perfect Snogging, you have your Wild Child, you have your Aquamarine. There's so many, countless films that came out at that time that I consumed as not even just a teen, as a child. A lot of these films I did watch as a child. So in this video, I just wanted to say that I will not be talking about how chick flicks are perceived by the general public, because that's a whole other topic. And there's many videos on that topic itself and how things that teenage girls like are seen as low culture, and are looked down upon simply because of who they're aimed at and who consumes them. And I'll link a really good video on kind of that whole topic down below, and about kind of the evolution of why people think that what teenage girls like are low culture and silly. That's not what I'm going to talk about today. All I'm going to be talking about is my own perception, like my point of view, why I personally love chick flicks so much. To me, chick flicks are so valuable, and they taught me everything from family to girlhood to boys to periods. Yeah, I grew up on them, was raised on chick flicks. I watched Mean Girls when I was probably about 6 years old and continued to watch it, probably in part to having 3 older sisters. But yeah, I was raised on these films. I love them. I've watched most chick flicks. There are some I haven't seen, but most of them I've seen. These films to me are just so iconic, like from the characters to the fashion to the soundtracks to iconic quotes.
Who are we?
She doesn't even go here!
They are just iconic, and they define the whole generation. They define the whole 2000s decade. Yeah, they are just so iconic. They were also perfect for sleepovers and for bonding with your friends. I was someone who had a lot of sleepovers when I was young, and always we'd watch a chick flick and love it and bond over it together as girls. You can watch them with your mum, you can watch them with your sisters. They're also not exclusively for women. My brothers also grew up watching chick flicks and grew up enjoying them. So even though they come across as girly, they aren't just for women. Anyone can enjoy them. And these films are just fun and funny and easy to watch. And I think for me personally, a lot of them have now turned into comfort films. So they're films that I can go back to and watch when I just, I want to feel something. They're also highly accessible and easily comprehensible. Like, there's no Christopher Nolan shit that takes weeks for you to think about and work out, and you don't go away from a chick flick and have to watch ending explained. Yeah, they're for everyone. However, talking about chick flicks, I can't just forget about their flaws, because they do have flaws. They have a huge lack of diversity within them, whether that's racial or sexuality, which is probably why someone like me, a heterosexual white woman, can identify and love these films so much. So yeah, I do recognise that there are issues with them. And also a lot of them can have really problematic themes. Like, a lot of them have slut or fat shaming, which I don't agree with in any way. However, I do think it's a symptom of the time that they were made, like early 2000s, but I don't think that makes it okay. I don't think that makes it right. So I do love chick flicks, but I'm not blind to the issues that they have, because yeah, there are many. However, despite the issues that a lot of them do have, they can also have amazing messages like fighting the patriarchy and Legally Blonde. I do think generally they do try to do good, even if they do fall short a lot of the time. I think why these films are so special to me is because they talk about stuff that is relevant to women and relatable to women, which a lot of films really, if you look in the grand scheme of things, don't do. A lot of films are tailored to men, so to have this genre pretty much tailored to women is something that I think is incredible and definitely needed, because by talking about this stuff they make us women feel like we deserve to be talked about, we deserve to have films about us, like our interests are worthy of being on the big screen. And I think that is a message that is so important and cannot go unnoticed, especially as these films can be watched by little girls, as they were by me. I think little girls at an early age need to be told that their interests are valuable and are worthwhile and should be talked about, and their lives should be represented on screen. Also, side note, the guys are hot in the films. I can't deny it. The guys are hot. One critique you could have for chick flicks is that, oh, it's just all about men, and like it's a film about women, but they're all just talking about men. Yes, some chick flicks, a lot of chick flicks have love interests, have men, but the thing is, that is the truth. Like that, when I was 14, boys was one of the main things I thought about. Whether that's right or wrong, it is true that usually women are thinking about men. If they're heterosexual as well, heterosexual women are thinking about men. So it's truthful. But even though the boys are hot, blah blah blah, a theme that is way more interesting and was better for me is the theme of sisterhood within the films. Because I think in a lot of them there's such this massive bond of sisterhood, togetherness, women coming together. I think this is especially shown through films like this Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants and films like Aquamarine, because in Aquamarine there is a man, but you quickly realise that the film is actually about the love between these three girls, and the friendship between them, and not about the guy who just drives. He's kind of there just as a plot device and drives the plot, but really it's about the love between these three women, which I think is something that more films should look into. And these films, they talk to us, they talk to women, even if they do it in a silly way and they're cheesy and they wear pink and they wear makeup and they have blonde hair. At least they're doing it, at least they're trying to talk to us. I think having films that talk to us is so important. For me personally, these films taught me how to be a woman. And whether what they taught me was right or wrong, it's true. That's why these films mean so much to me, are so important to me. I think it's all just the importance of representation of women, and I know that coming from me, that's pretty rich, as a heterosexual white woman, I am presented considerably more than marginalised groups, and I am so aware of that. I'm so aware of the privilege that I have films made when I was just born about white hetero women, teen women, people in my exact situation, and I know that marginalised groups don't have that still, which I think is awful, and I would champion any new chick flicks coming out that want to be more diverse, that want to have different sexualities, different gender identities, different races. I think that's a change that I would love to see personally. I think that is so needed, because I feel like I've gotten it. I've gotten my representation. I have these films that speak to me. I do think now other groups need to have films that represent them on screen, because everyone deserves to look at the screen and see themselves. Finally, I would just like to say, yes, these films, these chick flicks are not winning Oscars, but they're not supposed to be. They do the job, they do what they're trying to do. They are films for teens talking about stuff that teens are interested in, and they do the job, and they're entertaining and they're wholesome, and they are important. Growing up, these films made me feel like my life and my interests and my hobbies were important, and that's the most invaluable thing that cinema can do for someone. To me, they are, and always will be held in a really special place for me, because they shaped who I am. They shaped my childhood a lot, and I love them for that.